Last week at the team meeting, one of the team member after he was finished talking pointed his fingers at me and said, "Your turn to talk." I felt targeted even though I knew he did not mean it. Have you used this pointing fingers gesture at others or have seen others using it? In this video, today we are going to learn why we need to avoid this hand gesture at all costs. And if you need to point at someone, how to use your hands better. Are you ready to learn? Let's get started. Welcome to Grow with Girija, where we learn about public speaking, communication, and life. What is non-verbal communication? Whenever we use our body and behavior to communicate instead of our words, we are using non-verbal communication. And in today's video, we are going to learn why we should never use this hand gesture. And if you are not sure why to use our hands in the first place, then check out my previous video where I tell why we should never hide our hands like this. Now let's get to the topic. Do you remember school days? I very well remember sitting among the students and having fun until the teacher pointed at me. I felt nervous and knew that I was in trouble. I'm sure you would also have had similar experiences. And now that I'm grown up, not much has changed because when that team member pointed fingers at me, I had the feeling of nervousness and anxiety. And why is that? Because we feel targeted. Did you know that in the English language, the phrase pointing fingers literally means blaming someone? There must be a good reason why such a meaning, a negative one, is given to this expression. Next time when you see someone in a verbal spat, fight, or in a conflict, observe how this pointing finger gesture makes its presence. But as an effective communicator, do you and I want conflict with our audience? No way. We want the exact opposite. We want to persuade and convince our audience that we are part of the same team so that they accept our ideas. Now that we understand this concept better, let's look at what are different ways of using our hands. There are three common ways of using our hands. First, palms up. Second, palms down. And third, pointing fingers. Let me show you how each one of these looks in action. I'm going to say one sentence 3 times using different hand gestures. See the difference you feel. First, palms up. I need support from all of you and especially you. Palms down. I need support from all of you and especially you. Pointing fingers. I need support from all of you and especially you. How did you feel? In my opinion, palms up feels welcoming and friendly. We all want to come across as friendly and positive. Palms down doesn't feel friendly. It feels we are being ordered. And finally, pointing fingers. Doesn't it feel intimidating and threatening? Like we are being ordered like a small child. And we have no choice. We don't like the person doing this to us. And what does it mean in terms of our performance as a speaker? It impacts in 2 ways and both are related to remembering. First, how much of what we said will be remembered by the audience? And second, how will the audience remember us? Let's talk about remembering what is said. If you feel threatened, intimidated, would you be able to remember or pay attention to what is being said? I won't be able to. Starting from palms up to pointed fingers, the degree to which we remember and pay attention to the content reduces. When it comes to how the audience will remember you, in palms up position, they will remember you as engaging and will like you more. But not the case with palms down or pointing fingers because you will come across as authoritative and pushy. And we don't want that. The question is how to use this knowledge in practice. For cooperation and engagement, use palms up and make it your preferred style. If you ever need to give orders, which I hope you don't need to, use palms down. And pointing fingers is not to be used anytime unless you want somebody to dislike you, or you want to create tension, or want to get into a fight with that person. The next step is for you to find out what is your current style and make adjustments accordingly, because that is how you will change and you will grow. If you have stayed this far, consider giving your comments for the feedback on the video. If you like something in this video, like it and subscribe to my channel to showcase your support. I'll see you in another video of Grow with Girija. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing and keep growing, because change is inevitable but growth is optional.